I was having a conversation with my mom when I was about 35 or 36. We were on our way up to go do some gambling in Colorado, and we'd been listening to a talk show radio host saying that, it's best to just build a nice nest egg for retirement, sacrifice now for retirement. And we both totally disagreed with that. For me, I always felt like, the living is for when you're younger. Retirement is fine. It's not bad to have retirement goals and things you want to do in retirement. But the living is the now. And I told my mom, I want to live a life where when I reach retirement, if that ever happens, I want to be able to say that I've done it all. I want to do the traveling, the creative works, all the things that I personally want to accomplish in life. I want to have that all out of my system by the time I get retired. I don't want to wait till retirement to do all that. That didn't make any sense. I know the talk show host, his really his argument was that it's a long-term payoff. Basically, that was his argument. You sacrifice now, and then you have a wonderful retirement later, and do whatever the hell you want. But, we've seen it time and time again. People don't reach retirement. People get sick right after they retire. Sometimes they can lose their money when they retire. You never know. So that's been my commitment to myself, is just to do all the living while I can. And I found that when I started to get to be around 50 years old, I'm 54 right now, that really was my reality. I was starting to think, well, I've done so much, obviously I'd like to do more. But I'd reached a point where I felt like I'd already lived a very complete and full life. I'd done a ton of music writing, and that's the number one thing I love to do. Done a lot of traveling, a lot of beach trips, a lot of hikes, a lot of hanging out with my best friends and family, a lot of good quality time with the people in my life. You reach a point where you feel like anything else is bonus. And that's a good place to be in life. And if you live a full life, if you're living in the now, even if you can't fully afford it sometimes, I don't recommend being financially irresponsible, obviously. But sometimes when you think, I'm not sure if I can afford it, just go for it, Don't be financially irresponsible and, put anybody out financially by wanting to go on a trip or doing something that it's going to cost a few bucks. But, it's worth it. One of the things people are finding more and more in life is that, especially the younger generations, that it's really about experiences. That's a lot more important than acquiring things. It's about having those beautiful experiences with the people that you love. That's the most important thing. So if you live a life that's rich with experience when you're younger, you can get to retirement and say, okay, now I can do whatever I want to do. But it's not like I've been saving up this whole time, waiting this whole time to do something like that.